Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, of Raven here. Part 22 of my Let's Play Illusion of Gaia series. Let's get right back into it. We're in the Great Wall of China. We just got the spin dash ability, so we're going to clean up the rest of these enemies. Always check your map, make sure you gotten everything. Because once again, if you miss some enemies, you won't be able to level up or whatever. So let's get down here and get these two little snakes. I like the Great Wall of China. I like the actual dungeon part. The boss is kind of irritating to me, which we'll be taking on in this video. But I do like going through the actual dungeon. When I was a kid and I played this on Super Nintendo, it was super confusing. It took me a lot longer as a child than it did as an adult. It seems like as an adult, it's only like 3 or 4 rooms. Like, it's a bunch of rooms, but the wall is divided into like maybe 4 or 5 sections, and they're not that long. They're not that hard to defeat. If you have experience doing it, and as an adult, you can process things faster or whatever. So, like I said, as a kid, it was really complicated. I thought it was one of the more complicated dungeons, but as an adult, no, not so much. So anyway, let's get in here and make sure we clear up all the enemies we left in the previous video. I skipped this section because I just want to go right ahead to getting the spin dash ability for Will, and plus I don't want the YouTube videos to be as long as I want like a 15 minutes or 20 minutes, something like that. So I skipped that area the first time, and now we're back beating these statues. But I'm a little bit more clumsier this time. As you can see, I'm taking hits, getting shot in the face with arrows, getting snake bites or whatever. Because at this point, I'm really just trying to knock the dungeon out and get to the end or whatever. So I'm a little bit impatient in my gameplay style or whatever. Make sure you take your time and go through it carefully. Like I stated earlier, it's not very long and it's not hard. It can be complicated if it's your first time through it, but there's really not that much to it in all honesty. Make sure you collect all the red jewels. Even though there's a finite amount of enemies, there's a finite amount of jewels you can collect, and still you want to do your best to collect as many as possible. Let's go down here. Make sure make sure you check every stairwell, and don't be afraid to double check. It won't hurt you to well, have I been in this door before? And when it is annoying anytime you play an RPG or any other game where there's a little bit of exploration involved. It is irritating to go back into an empty room, or go in a room you've already been to before. But as I say earlier, it's better to be safe than sorry. So and here's these flame eyes. You can see I'm fighting pretty sloppily. I don't like the ones that fly. I hate their pattern. I hate any enemy that does a move where it goes out of the screen or gets away from you or something like that. So anyway, put the stick on these snakes and make sure you just beat these eyes, beat them down. Got a little bit of health there, which is pretty good. And that's another reason why I'm a little bit careless, because the enemies do drop health occasionally. I don't know what triggers it. And I'm doing a let's play of the video game. I haven't studied it like I went to college, to study Illusion of Gaia, to know every single game mechanic or whatever. I'm just here to show y'all this awesome game, show y'all how to get through it, and show y'all some of the awesome feats and stuff. And I dodged that arrow a little bit too late. I blocked it a little bit too late. Anyway, we got some more health. I don't know if they're more likely to give you health if you're low on health, or what the catalyst is, because there's sometimes where it seems like I'm at death's door and I'll kill like 20 guys and they won't drop the health upgrade. And then there's other times that it seems like I've only been hit like once or twice, and I'll kill somebody and they'll drop the little health boost. So anyway, go to the dark space. And at this point, I wanted to record my progress. And I wasn't sure if I should change into Freedan, because from memory, as you can see, I looked at it a little bit and then left. And from memory, I was thinking, well, you mostly use Will through this dungeon. I don't remember too much. It's not a significant portion where you use Freedan. You don't need much of his powers or whatever. So I decided, I don't need Freedan, and walked out. Go down this corridor, make sure we kick a lot of butt, and you can run, you know, to speed up progress or whatever, because these hallways are pretty long. I mean, which makes sense. It's a recreation of the Great Wall of China, so you want that level. So let's push forward to the next screen. We've already conquered everything in this little pit area. This is where we got the Will's spin dash ability. So we just beat that, and then I hit this barrier, and you see this guy far away. Like, Will doesn't have any projectile ability, so yeah, you do need Freedan, which at this point I was kind of kicking myself, because I was like, dang it, because something told me, you know, change into him, but I couldn't remember at what point I actually needed to change into Freedan, so that led to this mistake. So anyway, gotta go back, boom shakalaka, and I overshot that like big time. And the one thing I don't like about the spin dash, it does take a while to charge up. Not long, but it does take a little bit, and I overshot that jump again, which is kind of irritating. You want to take your time and, you know, to get through it as efficiently as possible, because sometimes, you know, when you feel rushed and you feel panicked, you try to do things faster or rush through things, and you actually wind up taking more time and getting less done than if you would just actually calm down and try to do it, you know. And I botched the spear. I just botched the spear puzzle, which that's annoying too. Botching that, because sometimes you can just rush through it like there's no tomorrow. Then other times, like, nah, you screw up. Yep, botched it again. So anyway, Great Wall, pretty awesome. Once the enemies are pretty clear, you know, not too many secrets or treasures. There's like one red jewel and like one herb. You know, not a lot to miss in this one. It's not the most complex of all the dungeons, which is a good thing, because you don't want every single one of them to be like Mu or Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is really hard. So anyway, get healed up. Let's turn to the Dark Knight Freedan, because basically he has no ability to traverse the wall because he can't do the jumping. But the one thing he is good at is, you know, he does have a projectile attack, and he can reach enemies. His sword is longer, so he can reach enemies further away with that. And also, he does have a projectile attack for getting rid of enemies that are out of his sword reach. My personal favorite, I like playing with Freedan more than the main character anyway. Not just because his power, I just think his abilities are cool. Yeah, he has more reach, and but his abilities are way better. He has some later in the game that are just amazing. Like, I wish I could do those abilities in real life. So anyway, let's head back to where we were. We're gonna make quick work of this. We're gonna end this. We're gonna finish up the Great Wall in this video, because it's, like I say, it's not that difficult of a dungeon, and it kind of sucks that right here I have to. It takes so many hits to kill him, but that one really wiped him out though. Boom shakalaka. He goes down. We get that brick uncovered. Makes it really easy. So here we go, and here's another. See, look at this guy going through the wall. That's so irritating. Like, yeah, the flaming eyes are, I would say, are the most irritating enemy in this particular dungeon in my book. You might have a different opinion. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, for me, the floating ones are just super irritating. It's like, get over here. And it's like, why would he even go to the other wall anyway? It's like, there's nobody even over there to fight. You know, the character, the player character is on this side, you know. And you say, well, Raven, what if you're on the other side of the wall? Then you have to fight him that way. But he starts off in that particular room. If you were able to come in from the other side, he wouldn't be there. So anyway, we have a light puzzle. The key to this puzzle is don't block your way with the statues. You can swipe them into those little holes to get them out of your way. Like, push that one up. There's no special area or special way to order them. You know, just make sure they're not blocking your way, and use your psychic ability to pull this statue closer to you, so you can push it down into that little pit. You know, that's easy peasy. And if you hit the switch, they'll turn, you know, into actual enemies that you have to fight, and that, you know, solves the puzzle or whatever. So that's a quick puzzle. Like, nothing's really too hard in the Great Wall of China, which it's pretty refreshing, because there's other video games I played where the Great Wall of China has been represented as a dungeon, and there's like traps and puzzles. It's like extremely difficult. You're like, dang, you know, what's going on? But this one is pretty straightforward. There might be a second or two of some mind work, but no, it's basically make sure you hit every room and kill every guy, and that's it. Well, make sure what did this archer do? Oh, I took a hit. Boom shakalaka. So we just got our power back up, and which is the reason why you want to make sure you kill every enemy, because if you miss that strength increase, you will really feel it in the next area, and that goes for the whole game. Even the first dungeon, if you might see like a bat or something. You're like, well, I don't feel like killing that bat. You know, it's way over here to the side or whatever. But yeah, you'll pay for that laziness later on. So anyway, past that area, and once again we're blocked. You know, you need will to go over those hills. But it doesn't hurt to beat tail with Freedan. That's my rule of thumb for this game. Whenever you have Freedan, kill as many enemies as possible with Freedan until you are forced to switch back to will, because it just makes it easier and faster. You know, it's easier to get through the enemies with Freedan. And the wall spears are a little bit annoying, but like I said, nothing too tough. And if these guys were more in line, it would be easier to hit them with the Dark Friar projectile attack, which you saw me demonstrate earlier when we were getting rid of that first guy who was blocking our way. Boom! I can't wait till that attack gets to the next stage. That's my favorite attack in the game. I wish more video games had an attack like that. I won't spoil it because it'll be in a future video anyway. So let's go over here and physically whoop this guy. And taking arrows, taking a lot of shots. For some reason, it seems a lot harder to block the arrows from the archers with Freedan's sword than it does with Will's stick. So anyway, here's a second puzzle area. If you check your map, you'll see that there's monsters in the room. But as you go through it, you know, they won't show themselves. So what you have to do is look for them on the map, get a location, and you know, punch them with your sword to activate them, you know, get them out of hiding, and then defeat them. Some of them you can tell right off the bat because they're facing you. I think all the ones that are facing you are the evil ones, or the fake ones, that are, so to speak. And the ones that are, because some of them are like more detailed. They're facing you, but they're more detailed. Yeah, see, that one has two little eyes. If you look at the character model, even when they're in the clay form, the statue form, they have tiny little eyes, whereas the other guys don't have eyes. So that's one way you can tell them apart, which I didn't notice that when I was playing earlier, when I recorded this. I would just use the tried and true method of, you know, keep punching until you find the fake one. So then once that happens, dark space will open up, go inside, bam. You'll be able to turn these back into will. You know, I didn't need healing right there because I just got a hit point increase. So it might, you know, you don't have to talk to Gaia if you don't want to, because, you know, if you don't want to save your game, you don't have to. And since this is, I'm using a SNES emulator, you know, I have save states, so it's not that important for me to save. But for the sake of you watching, I will recommend that you save your game pretty often. And I believe you can keep multiple saves. So there's no reason to, you know, not say, oh, I don't want to save over this, or I'm afraid I haven't made, you know, I haven't found all the treasures yet. You know, keep multiple saves. That way, if you miss something, you can go back to an earlier save and get it back. So anyway, final destination. Down at the bottom of this wall, there's a giant sand pit, and in that sand pit is the Sand Fanger. And this boss, not too difficult. He pops out of the ground. He'll always put that little spinning antlion trap, look like a little whirlpool or a sand whirlpool. That'll always indicate where he's gonna come out at. And I haven't fought him in like 20 No, no, not 20 years. I beat it. I beat this game without recording maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been a while since I fought it, and I forgot the best method. Instead of standing horizontal, like level with the, like parallel with the creature, it's better to kind of stand in the foreground and face the tunnel. So Will's back is towards you, towards the camera, and his face is facing the tunnel where the Sand Fanger comes out. That's the best way to get hits on it, because as you can see, running horizontally, he can, you might not get the hits or whatever. You might not, it might not be as accurate or whatever. It's a little bit more difficult. Plus, you leave yourself vulnerable to his jumping attack. Besides leaping out and diving in and then going across, doing, I guess, rainbows for lack of, he does this. He'll stick his head out and spit out 2 eggs. If you don't destroy the eggs, they'll turn into babies. There's 2 types of babies. The one baby, as you can see, will pop out and throw a rock at me really quick. The second type of Sand Fanger baby is like a little bitty, it's almost like a larva or something, and it'll like bouncing back and forth across the screen, and that's really annoying. Most of the time, I'm pretty good at killing both the Sand Fanger and his larva, but this time when I fought him, I haven't been as accurate. So anyway, I'm taking a little bit of damage, so let's heal up. Remember, there's a finite amount of herbs in the game. Sometimes you might want to, if you use too many herbs in one boss fight, you might want to start over, because if you eat up every single herb you have, and there's only so many more left as you progress, and you don't want to get to like the end of the game and only have like 1 herb left in your inventory, because you're not going to get another one. There's no merchant that sells herbs. You just won't be able to get one. So anyway, make sure you take him out, and he's most vulnerable when he pops his head out to spit out the babies. That's when he's at his most vulnerable. So make sure you always take advantage of that. And just to be on the safe side, let me eat a little bit more healing. Like I say, it's been a while since I fought him, so I'm doing this a little bit sloppy. Hopefully, y'all, my viewers, can watch the video do a better job. It doesn't matter as long as you get victory and you haven't lost lives or used too many herbs. It's probably possible to beat every boss in this game without taking any hits, because some of the bosses, even the eagle boss in the Sky Garden, you can block his feathers with your sword. And see, now I'm kind of remembering my strategy to like face him, have my back towards the camera instead of trying to get him horizontally. Bam, there he goes, and we got another mystic statue. Awesome. I like getting the mystic statues. The sound effects in this game are top notch. Like, I really enjoy the effect of getting the statues, the effect of sending off the red jewels to the jeweler gem. The music and the sound effects and graphics in this game are amazing, and they're still holding up, 20 years after its release. The story, I would say not so much, because there's parts where I think there's a lot of there's some bad translation from the Japanese to English, and so sometimes the characters will say weird things and you'll be like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I'll make it a point to point some of those out in the video later on. So anyway, now we've defeated the Sand Fanger, we've rescued our friends, and he needs a tender moment with his lady, which all guys watching this, hopefully y'all understand that, that needing that private time with a lady, like, everybody else needs to get out the room. So anyway, I just talked to her to make sure she ain't had nothing to say, and I leave, and then it's all Lance and Lily. And this moment there's a lot of dialogue. I won't skip it, because not everybody who's gonna watch this video is gonna immediately go play Illusion of Gaia. I understand that, so I want y'all to at least be able to read it, even if you don't play it. It's not the deepest love story in the world though, so there's that. But it is a sweet moment, and And it's a good thing for a man to you know, woo a woman. It's a good thing. So there's nothing wrong. You can't hate on him, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather the hero got with her, but you know, I can't hate on Lance, you know what I'm saying? Every man's trying to get some, I guess. And she says, yeah, she says she's happy, crying from happiness. I've always felt something different about you. Now I feel I know what the difference is. Yeah, but who wouldn't want a girlfriend that could turn into a flower? You know, that is so useful. Like, think about it. If you're locked, if you get kidnapped and like dudes, you know, put you in a trunk or something like that, she can turn into a flower or float away on the wind and then, you know, turn back to a human, get help, or she could undo the lock from outside or something. You know, it's just that's a really cool power, you know. Out of all the superpowers that exist, you know, invisibility, super strength, super speed, I would put turn into a flower as one of the main ones that are up there. That's pretty awesome. So anyway, we made it back to the house. We had to talk to these people or whatever, make sure everybody's home safe. But anyway, so I'm gonna end the video right here. Don't want to go too long. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all watching my Losing Gaia playthrough. Stay tuned for more videos, and you know, hit me up with comments. Let me know what you think. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and have a good day.